earlier, I don't know if you saw part one of the gender identity, the video. I was trying to touch bases with you guys on G.I.D, gender identity disorder. I want to talk to you about gender identity disorder as a teenager. Um, Growing up, like I said, having heterosexual parents, you don't really know where to get the help and, the understanding. I could tell you like this. I knew that there was something different about me before I can even say what it is. You know what I'm saying? I remember being in the 8th grade, and one of my friends had a Vibe magazine. And in the Vibe magazine, it was, a part about studs. You know, there were lesbian African American women, and they appeared to be dressed like men. And never being exposed to this, being about 13 or 14 years old, that was my first sense of a feeling of belonging, to something, you know, and someone. I identified immediately. It was so funny, we're sitting in class and we're at the desk, and she was reading her Vibe magazine, and she was like, oh, this is what you are right here, look, check this out. So, I thought she was just fucking around, trying to mess with my head, because, like I said, kids were cruel back then. They still are cruel, you know. It's a lot of bullying and things of that nature when you appear to be somewhat different. So I took the magazine from her, you know what I'm saying, and I just looked at it, and I just started reading, and it was a group of what appeared to be men, but they were in fact women. And I was just reading it, and I was amazed, like, oh wow, I can't believe it, being in the 8th grade, and at the tender age of 14, I didn't even know what a lesbian was. I just knew that it was something different about me, and it was at that point in my life, at that age, that I started doing my research to make sure, in fact, that's what I am. So having gender identity disorder, it's, like I said, the feelings of, uh, feeling more like the opposite sex. And I said, wow, so maybe I'm not so different after all. There's others like me, I'm growing up, and I wasn't necessarily being understood by my peers or my biological parents. So the magazine, and that Vibe magazine, that edition, gave me more of an understanding of myself, and I was able to take that as a platform, of my self-discovery. Um, Pretty much the article was, just telling the lives of these women, who had gender identity disorder and who were lesbians, and they just happened to be African American. So I just thought that it was really cool, to know that I wasn't alone and that there were others like me, because, being 14, I never seen a gay woman, I didn't grow up around a lot of gay people, and back then, if people were gay, it wasn't something that was, you know, people didn't speak about it. So, you were like taught to like stay in a kid's place. Even if you did see a man and he was walking kind of funny, nobody really spoke about that type of stuff. So, having gender identity disorder growing up, I didn't even know what it was to be gay. I just knew that, you know, at a very young age, I didn't like the opposite sex, and I didn't, you know, identify with my own sex. Meaning to say, I didn't feel like the other women that I saw around me, and I wanted to know why. I wanted some light shed on the situation, and eighth grade, you know, reading that magazine and the girl yelling out, this is what I was," shed a whole lot of light on the situation for me. And ever since then, I've been able to go forward and do research on others like me, and about being a lesbian, and it let me know that it's okay to be different. Everybody isn't gonna feel the same, and like I said, if we know about this disorder, and we're raising a family and we're able to shed light on the situation now, it'll just be a lot easier, going forth raising your families in the future. It's beautiful out here. It's a beautiful day. I just wanted to shed some more light on gender identity disorder. Like I said, being young, you really don't know what it is to be gay. You just know that you're different. You don't know what it is to have G.I.D, and I don't even know why they call it a disorder, quite frankly. Back then, they thought that to be gay or lesbian was a mental illness, and now in 2015, they found out that to be gay or lesbian is just like being a heterosexual person, just like having different skin color. We're just different. It's not a mental disorder. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and you're able to get an understanding of G.I.D, and what it is like to grow up with it, and things that you could do to spread awareness so that you don't damage your children, pretty much. Later.